All right. Hey there, friends. This is your girl, Cheryl, and this is Who's Invited, where we have interesting conversations with interesting people. And today is no exception. Today, full disclosure, I'm going to be talking with my Pilates coach. She kicks my butt, okay, every Wednesday and Saturday. But she's more than that. She is the owner of Alpha to Omega Holistic Therapeutic Services. She's a fitness enthusiast and a wellness educator and a wellness professional for over 30 years. So she lives by the mantra that everything ain't for everybody. So we're going to be talking with Coach Robin Renee. Thank you so much for joining us and welcome to Who's Invited. How you doing today?
Thank you, and thanks for the invitation.
Yes, absolutely. So what you got today? I have a little bit of, I'm calling it tea, but it's really just lemons and ginger and some hot water because I don't know, because I like it.
I got lemon ginger tea.
Ah, see,
Yeah, so
good.
we in
Great mind.
sync. Right.
Yes, yes, yes. So I wanted to talk today because I got to put the percolators on. Got to be able to see. So I wanted to talk today because it's January. People are starting their fitness programs, and it's a whole new year, new you thing. And this is a great time for people to sort of assess what's really for them. And I think you're the perfect person to talk to about that because you know a lot about this and you've seen a lot. So let's just start with that. First off, how did you start your fitness journey?
I was born, basically. I've been active like all of my life. I started cheering like on a team. I was about the second grade, like 8 years old. Is that right? Second grade?
Yeah, something like that.
Second grade, all through high school, swam, gymnastics. So cheer and gymnastics were my team sports. Swimming was what I like to do, for enjoyment. I never competed, with swimming because that was a thing I looked to actually enjoy. And
Right.
I didn't think I would enjoy it if I was competing. But, cheerleading and gymnastics, those are my two sports. Professionally, I got into the journey. Oh, because you know how your friends and your family want you to come work out with them. Like, come work out with me, come work. Yeah, yeah. So I was doing that, anyway. And then I figured the more and more I reached out to people, or the more and more people who would come to me, asking for that, I'm like, okay, well, let's see what this is about, So decided to go and pursue a certified fitness trainer. So I got that certification first. And then it just branched out, indoor cycling, group fitness, group resistance training, yoga, Pilates, so it just kind of branched out. So this part of the journey with Pilates, I'm honing in on that. This is where I'm settling because, in a few years, I'll be stepping into life's third act, and I'm not about to be jumping all around on my knees like, girl, we're not doing all that, right? Right? So with Pilates, so for me with Pilates is one of those things that makes me have to focus. Like I'm not able to just mindlessly do something. Like I really have to focus on that. So that was good for me. And then when I saw the benefits it has, for the body, I started sharing it, with other people. The Pilates industry, as we know it today, it's actually about to change. The face is going to change. But when you think Pilates, or the average person thinks of Pilates, they don't see us.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm more adamant about making sure that Pilates gets to the Black community and to
Awesome.
make sure that we know that Pilates is for us. Because typically when you hear Pilates body, image that comes into your mind is this long, lean, dancer, size 2 type. Yeah. But the Lord done blessed us with some extra stuff. And,
Right.
our bodies don't do all that, right?
Right.
But Pilates is for you. Pilates is for our bodies. And I want to be one of the catalysts that are bringing it to our community to show you how Pilates is for your body. So that's how I got on the Pilates journey.
Awesome. Yeah. And I gotta say, I initially started working out and doing Pilates with you. You were the first Pilates coach I ever worked with. And I signed up because I was like, well, they don't have yoga. It's kind of like the next best thing. But until you do it, you don't realize it's its own thing. It has its own, obvious benefits, but it's different in a such a significant way that you know, I mean, I could go on and on, but but you're the expert. So, I definitely wanted to talk with you today because I need help. Yeah,
What you
that's
need,
what
what
I
you
need. I
need,
need some help.
what you
So
need,
I need
girl.
yes, because I'm one of those people. So I'm talking like this is other people and their journey, and this is, they're having problems doing this, but it's me too. I have, done all sorts of work with different trainers and coaches and things like that. I ran a marathon, but after I ran that marathon, I don't know. It's been a struggle to, just run just in general, period. And when I first started Pilates, I was doing it to actually repair my body from, all the training and running. Like I love running, but the motivation and things like that, it's just I've been, I've been missing some of that motivation. And I want to be a person where fitness is just a part of just what you do, you know? And I've been struggling with that. And I know a lot of people struggle with that. So, we know tons of people begin their fitness programs and they don't make it past the first month. So why do you think it's hard for people to commit? Like, I know it's hard for me, but I can't really hone in on you know, what, what that is. I need the secret sauce. And I'm sure a lot of other people do too.
Okay, well, the secret sauce is know your why.
Okay.
Know why you're doing it. So if you're watching your friend and your friend uses running and your friend has got slimmed down or ripped up or resistance training or powerlifting, that's for your friend. If it's not for you, your motivation, your why is because that's what she looks like or that's what he looks like. So when that why becomes personalized and internalized, that this is what I need for my body. Now, vanity, granted, we're in America and that's just what it is. Very few people who are not, I'm going to say not vain, not to throw anybody under the bus, but vanity is just a part of who we are.
Right.
In our society, we value beauty or what America has deemed as beauty, and we try and strive for those goals. If it's not your own personal goal, it's going to be harder to attain. Another part of losing motivation is because I don't like this. Like this is some trash, right? So now you ran a marathon, and I like to use myself as an analogy when it comes down to choosing something that's right for you.
Mhm.
Now, if you see my time on a monitor or app or whatever, I don't use the apps, but if you just saw my time, just like a mile or whatever. So if you saw 12 minutes or 11 point or whatever, maybe the first thing somebody is thinking is, oh, okay, she has a decent pace for running, but I'm actually walking. Can't stand running. Can't stand
Wow.
running. And I walk faster than some people run. But
Yeah,
for me,
mhm.
running is not for me. So I look at, so tackling a problem, this is my formula. So I'm going to stay with the marathon. So the possibility for me of successfully completing a marathon is vast, is great, it's a yes,
Yep.
because it's a possibility, because
I
it's
wonder if I
big.
could talk you into it. No, go ahead.
Yeah, watch me work. So probability
Mhm.
is according to what I have, according to my level of fitness, is it probable that I will be successful at completing the marathon? Another yes, because I'm fit enough, I can do it. But then we move over to likelihood. So this is how I attack my problems. Likelihood. Likelihood is where my desire and my commitment to that thing is going to come in. Likelihood is a zero. For me, I have absolutely no interest in running a marathon. I don't need people to encourage me. I don't need people to tell me how fun it is. I don't know. I'm gonna meet you at station 24 by Mercy Hospital in the Chicago Marathon. I'm gonna give you some water and say you're going back to work. So it's like this just for me. But I know that even though I have actually paced some runners with my walking pace who were training for the Chicago Marathon. And I'm walking and they're running, just to have them in their mind without looking at their watch to see, when they hit that 12-minute mark or the 11-minute mark. But me, because like we still walking, like I'm running and and then you give me this and the string, I'm good. And I gave you how much money? I'm good. I'm good.
Metal
But that's for
motivation
me.
is not your thing, huh?
Not no no not for a marathon. Now I will bike, I will bike and I will walk, but it's just like that. When I think that running is really psychological for me, and I have no desire. That's like the dread meal for
Mhm.
me, and it took me a long time and a whole lot of money with the bells and whistles on that machine. I ended up giving it away to one of my aunts because
Wow.
it's like this just ain't, because I ain't going nowhere. Like I don't like this. This is terrible.
Yeah, my
But that's
sister says
me.
it's like walking. She said, "Oh, I feel like a hamster on a wheel." She hates it. My sister.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's for me. So I think a lot of times with people, they either don't know their why or the motivation for their why is not strong enough. The other part is they're not interested in what they're doing. They just know that it worked for Jesse Owens. Like, okay, you know what? I know it worked for him. But if you're not interested in it, the likelihood of you continuing it is just that's with anything. Fitness is one of those things. And it is not a punishment. Like in order to get fit, you shouldn't have to hurt all the time. Of course, if you move different muscles that you haven't moved before, when you change up your routine, you're gonna get some soreness. But it's like you should just not be like, oh my God, I hate putting on my shoes for this. I hate putting on my socks for this. If it's that bad, don't do it. It's just because there's so many other ways you can move your body that you feel like you're stuck. Meet your friends for brunch. Don't be out there on the track if that's not your thing. Don't be out there because they're gonna be smiling like, girl, you're like, I hate y'all. I hate it here, right? So
Yeah.
yeah,
So I mean, yeah, I think that a lot of people they run into those pitfalls, even if they, whether they're running or even going to a gym, they'll sign up for a gym. But I think right, maybe their why, or maybe the gym is not for them. Is that kind of what you mean? You know,
me, that's how I
yeah.
ended up building my own gym. And this was way before Rona. You sweating, you dripping, you breathing, you touching, you sitting, and that was just for me. And so
Right.
I built my own gym. I built my home because the money I could have given up. This is when memberships were higher than, like you can get $10 or $20 a month. But I was looking at the money I could give to a gym. I invested in each piece of equipment and end up building a whole home gym because
Yeah.
and I just didn't want to be there. And then when you have your routine and you come in and you have stuff written down and you got somebody over there on the leg press, you're like, what? Really? You in the mirror and I need to use this machine, so it kind of slows you down. You don't get a chance to go and do things that you came to do.
Yeah. So I know that, like I said, people are going to the gym. They've opened some of them and what have you. So, how has the pandemic affected what you do?
Honestly, my pivot was strong
Oh
and
wow,
it
great.
increased. Yeah, yeah, it increased. Well, I mean, you're in my classes, so we got people Georgia, North Carolina, we got Texas, so yeah. So I was
Oh,
actually able to reach more people, which was definitely a blessing.
yeah. And I gotta say that that was part of my struggle. Like, I do, I don't want to have to drive or go to wherever the gym is to know you can do it in your home. And like, and I told you before, sometimes I don't turn the camera on. It's not because I'm not doing it. It's just,
Hmm.
my outfit is not necessarily camera ready.
That's
And I
okay.
like that. I mean, I like that I can still do it. Some instructors, like yourself, you make the class available, for a limited amount of time, as a recording. So if I think I want to do it again, I can do that. So, for me, I can agree. Yes, the pandemic has been devastating for a lot of people in a lot of ways. But as far as being able to find some workouts that I like and be able to do them from home, I think that's been a benefit for me. You know,
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
I want to
Definitely.
say that's one of the things I'll check off on my list. That's I'm going to continue to do that. What are some other things that people should consider, or maybe they should think of incorporating to try to get them over that hump of being committed to a workout?
Just be committed to movement until you
Mhm.
find your groove.
Okay.
Like no matter what, I'm going to spend 30 minutes a day. That's just not a cliche, but spend 30 minutes a day of intentional movement. So, some people have their Fitbit on and they down at the grocery store. No, baby girl, that's not it. You don't count them steps because yes, you need to go get your lettuce and your kale. You need to do that.
Right.
But those are not the steps that should be counted. I mean, yeah, we're going to count. Look, every little step I take, like Bobby Brown, every little step I take is going to
Hello.
count. Right. But we want it to be intentional. That time is set aside. It could be walking one day, it could be biking the other day, and just think about the things that we did. So I don't know how many of you are out there ever were on punishment and you better not come off that porch, right?
Right.
What did you do? You played rock teacher. You had to come
Mhm.
up the stairs, go down the stairs. You got your little jump rope. We had a lemon twist. It was back in the 70s.
Oh
So
wow.
we
Yeah.
played the lemon twist, right? We played in the street. We played dodgeball. We played Red Rover. Like think of the games and stuff, the hopscotch you played as a kid and then go back hula hooping, that kind of stuff. You don't have to be restricted to what you think the latest craze is, going on, in the fitness world. It's just about movement. Our bodies were designed to move. And the evidence of that, when you don't move, you hurt.
Yeah, talk
right?
about the hurt.
You hurt when it's time to start moving. That's what I mean. Like just sitting there and then you get up like, ooh, Jesus, like what happened?
Yes,
Knee,
yes.
you want to wake up, right? Hip, you want to get with me? Yeah, yeah. Our bodies were designed to move, and they were designed to move from the cradle to the grave.
You have said something right there, and I say that because before I started, doing the Pilates with you, I had I went all the way to see a physical therapist and things like that after the marathon because I had some pain, around in my hip flexor and that sort of thing, and I just knew something had to be wrong because nothing I could do, nothing I would do would get rid of this pain. Of course I started to rest and that also added to me, just sort of not working out kind of at all, just saying.
Right, right.
But even just things like, the pelvic rock in Pilates and things like that, or just the things that stretch the spine, I feel like I'm regular again. You know what I'm saying? Because those were things that, when you're running kind of in, it's one motion. And so, your body fatigues of this one thing when your body is designed to move in so many different directions that, I had ignored. So yeah, so I mean, you put something on my mind, right? Like just making sure that you get to moving and then you'll find your groove. I think that probably is for me the biggest takeaway is finding, whatever the groove is. I know that Pilates, yoga, that's going to be a part of it. And, I'm looking to add some more things to it. But I think that, yeah. Now, you also mentioned going to the store for your lettuce and your kale. Lucky for
Right.
you, I like both of those. So, okay, cool. But I know that nutrition is a big part of fitness and wellness. Wellness more so, people don't even realize, like, the foods help you to, to think better, live better, be better. What would you say about nutrition? Because that's a struggle too, especially when there are so many delicious foods out there.
Right, right. So one thing I do say is food tastes too good for you to be suffering.
Yeah.
When you
Oh,
sit in front
okay.
of your plate, you should not be suffering no matter what it is.
Hmm.
On the flip side of that, there should be nothing that is so good on your plate that you're willing to die for. So we got
Okay.
two different sides, right? You shouldn't suffer. Food should be good. But if you know something is really, really bad for you, you already have these pre-existing conditions and you still got it on there, that means you're willing to die for that. Either one.
Mm,
You shouldn't have anything on your plate that you're willing to die for. With
that's awesome. That's
nutrition,
awesome. Wow.
keep it as simple as possible. Keep it as close to its freshest form as possible. So when you imagine whatever it is, like what would this be in its original form? So in its natural state, you can heat it, you can cook it, but when it changes, like Cheetos don't have no cheese, right? I'm just saying, like it's all other kind of stuff in there to emulate that.
Cheeto.
But
We didn't grow no Cheetos. Ain't no Cheeto
nah, ain't no Cheeto tree, ain't no exactly.
tree.
So if you do that, so it's like real simple, because like counting calories, I'm done with school. I'm not trying to do all that math. That's just
Mm,
me. I'm not necessarily discouraging, but I don't want to encourage someone to get so caught up on the calorie content because you can have something that's low in calories that's high in fat and it's still not good for you. So
okay.
you want to make sure that you have a balance, but if you have it, just really simple, closest to its natural form, keep it cute, keep your plate colorful. Keep it
Okay.
colorful, right? But I don't mean light beige, medium beige, brown, and dark brown, right? Because that means
First of all,
everything on
light
there is
beige. I
black.
don't think I want no light beige food. No,
But I'm just
anything.
French fries, French fries. See?
Oh, okay.
That's
Okay.
what I'm saying.
Okay. Gotcha.
That's what I mean. You ain't got no French fries, no fried chicken, no bread. That's what I mean. Like everything shouldn't be in that tan family, right?
Oh, gotcha.
Keep it colorful. Keep it colorful. You need some blues, you need some purples, you need some reds, you need some yellows. That's if you can't think like, well, what is it? What is it I'm supposed to be eating? There's also something else. I mean, I started this habit. It wasn't like to lose weight or anything. It was just a habit just for me to test. I like, putting things out there and just see, well, let me see, I'm
Mm,
black, black people, I don't believe you, right? So I went, right. So what I wanted to test was just to see if I'm really satisfied with what I eat or am I satisfied with what I see, right?
uh-huh.
So I started just doing everything in halves. So whatever I would typically eat, I would just only eat half of it, put the rest up and save it for later. Now, if I feel that I'm still hungry and still want more, I can nibble a little bit more. But for the most part, and I started this years ago, I haven't run into where I need to go back and just eat everything on my plate. Our parents, Rest those ones who are not here. But our parents, like, you going under the ground if you don't eat everything on your plate, right? That's what
That's
our parents
right.
did. But not realizing that the plates, some of the plates, now some of our plates were fixed for children, but some of our plates, like, Mom, I got the same thing you got on your plate. I can't eat all this. In fact, I don't want all this, right? Right.
Yes,
But
yes,
if we look at eat enough that's on your plate to keep you satisfied, and then you get to think about how good it's gonna be when you go back, especially if it was good, right? Like,
right.
I'll cut a little brownie in half. Most people be like, "Why would you do that, girl? Because I'm gonna tear it up later because it was good." So it's not about starving yourself. It's just about challenging yourself to see if you really want it. And I'm not starving. I'm not hungry all day. Once you eat the right calorie dense foods, you're not as hungry. It's when you eat the 99 cent 2 for 5 type of business that
Right.
doesn't have the nutrients in it. That's when you become hungry again because your body wants to be nourished. There's a
Yes.
difference in being full and being satiated, being nutritionally satiated. You want to make sure that you got all the nutrients that you need, and it doesn't take a lot to do that. I mean, your stomach is really not that big. I don't know if people know how big your stomach is, but it's not that big.
Wow.
Our
Yeah.
eyes are like,
Yes, yes, yes,
right.
yes. Well, okay, so you know, all right, yes. So want to make sure that we're eating our colors and eating till we're satisfied, not overeating. But I know, come on, Coach Robin. Now I know you got to have a cheat meal somewhere. So, and I'm saying this because it's hard sometimes to do right all the time. And maybe that's
Hmm.
my problem because I'm having a hard time staying committed. But does Coach Robin have a cheat meal?
No, because think about who you're cheating. You cheating yourself. I'm not gonna cheat
Ah,
myself.
see, I
Now,
did that there.
now does Coach Robin indulge?
Okay,
Sweets is my kryptonite,
okay,
right? But I had to get creative with sweets because I knew a lot of the sweets that I was eating were not good for me. So and thank God for the Google, right? You go on Google and you just substitute. What can I substitute for? Let's just say a Reese cup, right? Get you a banana, get you some soy nut butter, get you some pure cocoa, mix and blend that stuff up. Put a little bit of, where you want to use almond milk, soy milk, rice milk, put it in the blender, drink it. It's a dream. It's a dream. It's a dream.
okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
being creative about it to get those
Be
same
creative.
flavors.
Yeah, I like
Okay.
my sweets. And then some sweets is just gonna be what it is, like lunchroom cookies. I don't know. I'm just eating them, some
Yeah, I
stuff is
don't
like,
think
you know
there's any
what?
substitute for that, right? Yeah,
Nah, we just
not much good has come out of a lunchroom, but a lunchroom cookie, I think, is
cookies.
where everybody's list.
Was blessed. Thank you. Right, right. So I'm just creative. I mean, and I do like sweets. I'm on that end. I'm not the salty person. Like, if you bring big meals, like especially like with soul food, I'm not against soul food. I grew up on it, so I have nothing against it. But if a holiday passed and I didn't have none, I ain't gonna cry. I won't miss it. Like, that's just where I am with
Right,
the food.
right,
Now, if
right,
we
right.
talk about my sweet potato pie and my German chocolate cake and my red velvet, I got problems, right?
Gotcha, yeah.
You could take
Yeah.
the meals. I'm good. Just give me my sweets.
Well, I like that. So that way, you can live a life where, you're cutting back on things, or, eating more healthy, but still not sort of depriving yourself. You're still, living and fully experiencing, the joy of some foods, just not overindulging. So
Yeah,
I
food
think
is
that's
too
good.
good to be suffering like that. When you sit down with your plate, you don't want to be like, oh, like
Right. No,
this again. Right. No, you want to enjoy it. You want to look forward and look forward to even just experimenting. And especially for people who are new on a plant-based journey, because the whole vegan vegetarianism, that's like a big old debate that
right.
kind of gets me in a different headspace. But people don't know. So they think, well, I'm going vegan for 7 days. Like, no, vegans don't go vegan for 7 days. Veganism is a lifestyle, right? You still wearing certain makeup, you still rocking red bottoms, you still sitting on leather seats, baby. You ain't vegan for 7 days. You're not.
Right.
Because vegans not doing that. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like true
it's
veganism.
much more than that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So if you're going plant-based, I'm saying, but some people don't know. They just thinking, well, I'm gonna be vegan for the next 30 days. What? You about to get rid of your Lexus? What?
Yeah,
What?
I guess it's a start.
It
Um,
is.
yeah. All right, I guess we're
It
gonna
is.
knock the start, because that could be the seed that's planted for somebody that, maybe they will eventually get to that level, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah,
But
well,
but
and
right,
then
right.
it's about like the labels. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, I
when
got
people
you.
want to grab on, but if you're going plant based, that's totally different. I mean, plant based just means I'm gonna eat a whole lot of plants as my base. But if I
Right.
decide I'm going to have a little piece of meat, every now and then, that's fine. That's what I mean. I'm just saying it's like the words that people don't know. Like they just jump on the bandwagon. Well, I'm going to go. But if you know everything involved in, you be like, okay, is this something else? Is there option C? Because
Right.
I'm not doing this one.
Hey,
Right.
no, let me get C. Right, 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 right.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
Yeah. So okay, I get it. And I bet you've seen a lot in your time working with people because um yeah, I mean, like I said, every year about this time, I'm sure you get a lot of questions, people signing up. It's January, right? Um, and Pilates is challenging. So I know you've seen some things because I can look at my own self and say, no, that move ain't right. Oh, let me figure that out because so like do instructors, do y'all talk crap about us behind our back?
Uh,
I know. Come on, I
let
know
me
you
get
got some
serious.
stories.
Let me get serious.
Okay, maybe not
Okay.
about the person, maybe about the situation.
No, I'm
Look,
gonna say
I don't know how to
I'm gonna
clean
be
that up.
honest. No, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, if it's talking about somebody, it's not about your true inability to do something.
Right.
It's more so that I've been working out, I've been drinking all my water, I've been fasting, and you came in here and you looking like come on, quit playing. That's what I mean, like the shenanigans, the malarkey, and the
Mm,
foolishness. Oh
yeah.
yeah, we do. We're gonna address that. That's
That's
God.
good to know.
That's honest to God. You know what I'm saying? But it's not to ridicule anyone if you are really struggling or if something is really new. But I'm talking about the whole busybody front row diva who want to make these announcements, and you thinking like you should probably stop making them announcements for one in my class because you're gonna discourage people and stop telling them I'm your Pilates instructor and you doing. I'm just saying, right? Just stop putting my name on that mess. Like, don't
Right.
put me in that. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I mean, like people are people, but some people, yeah, they that may not be quite honest with themselves.
They're not quite honest with themselves, but then they want to make these big announcements, and you thinking like, just stop it, okay? You're ahead. We see you. Just don't do
Right,
that
just come
anymore.
along on the journey. Once you come learn instead of just, making all these pronouncements and stuff. That makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So okay. Now it is January, the new year, new you. I know that there's some people watching who may wanna make that first step if they haven't already. Or maybe they started January 1st, whatever they tried didn't work. Um, where can they find you for some inspiration? What kind of new programs you have going on? Because I'm sure some people will want to know like how can they find their own fitness, which is what we're trying to encourage, whatever fits for them.
Okay, so how can they be down with the Pilates posse? Is that
Yes,
what
with
you're
the
asking?
Pilates
Right.
policy.
Right. We got a whole crew, but you're welcome to join us at the Pilates posse. We meet regularly Wednesdays at 6 a.m., Saturdays at 8 a.m. And
Mhm.
if you are unable to make the class, you actually have access to the recordings that you can do after class because we have some posse members who I just have not seen live and I love them. But some are working and some, decide you just doing too much too early, Coach Robin, and I just got to get my life together and I'm gonna get back to the video. So
Right.
though
That's
that's
me.
twice a
That's me
week.
on some days, but I do it.
I'm good with it. I'm good with it. As long as you're moving. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the whole goal. You can find me on social media at Coach Robin Renee. Facebook is no space between Coach and Robin. My website is alpha to omega wts.com. And there you'll find information on, what other classes and other programs. Now I am introducing a student discount class, which is going to be really great. Like
Oh,
students can
nice.
come, yeah, students can come, to class with us, but they get 50% off. So yeah, so check my
Cool.
website out.
And I'll definitely link everything below so that people can find it as well. So I'm excited. Cool. There may be some more people joining the Pilates
Yes,
posse. I
join
love it.
posse up, posse up. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
All right. So this is who's invited, right? So
Mm-hmm.
when we all find our personal fitness, whatever works for us, so that we are consistent and fine. Once not that we're not already, we're gonna get finer.
Find
Okay.
out. Yes,
Yeah.
right.
So we're gonna be beach party ready. But let's imagine sort of a soiree. Of course, if we're that fine, we want a beach party or a pool party. So in your mind, like who would you invite to that? Like I like to ask people, which artists athletes, celebrities, or people who are game changers, that they really sort of either admire or they just like what they're doing, who would you invite to a soiree like that?
Well, Frankie Beverly,
All
because
right.
he ain't worked last summer, so he should be rested up, right?
Okay. Okay.
We was in the Rona, right? So he couldn't
Right.
work last summer. So you gotta have Frankie Beverly, right? It's all white. It's all white. Um, Sade gonna mellow us out, when
Oh, I
Frankie
love
needs to
that.
rest. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Um, Layla Ali, because
Yay.
yeah, she and I are kind of like, she's like for
Kindred
real
spirit.
undefeated. She's for real. I'm like in my mind undefeated, like in the ring. Layla Ali, Ricky Smiley,
Oh
because
yes. Okay.
you need laughter. Oh, that Tammy Roman,
Yes. Yes.
the
Do
Bonnet
Bonnet
Chronicles.
Chronicles.
Yes, ma'am, Tammy Roman. Who else would I invite? Who else would I invite? That I oh Martin,
Oh, I
Martin
love
Lawrence.
this. Okay, this sounds
Yeah,
like a smooth event right here.
yeah. Martin Lawrence, and so that we can eat really good.
Okay.
Tabitha Brown, her and her husband Chance, right? Because we're
Yes,
gonna eat good. We're gonna eat good, and it's gonna be some good food, and we're gonna get the colors. And Tabitha has already worked it out what you need to have, and we're
that's
gonna be
right.
good. Yeah, yeah,
Like
we're
so,
gonna be good.
like that.
Like that, right? Right.
Yeah,
And
like
what
so,
you
like
eat is
that.
your business,
That's
right?
your
What you
business.
that's
Yes,
your business.
I
Yeah.
love her. She is one of my friends in my head, Tabitha Brown. Yes,
See, right, right. So we'll be
I
doing
love it.
good.
Awesome. Yes. Okay, great. So, thank you so much for joining me today. I loved our conversation. I know that I learned some things. I hope that you learned some things as well. Thanks so much for joining us on Who's Invited. And now that you've seen it, go ahead and like this video. Go ahead and subscribe. Click the bell for notifications so that you don't miss a thing. So, all right. I'm challenging you to go find your fitness in 2021. You heard from Coach Robin Renee, and she's an expert in this field of helping people find what's best for their body. All right. Thanks so much for joining me, Coach. All right. And I'll
All
see
right,
you.
thanks.
I'll see you when you
Peace.
kick my butt again.
Right, Wednesday morning.
Yes, Wednesday morning.
All right,
All
take
right. Thanks
care.
so much.
All
All
right.
right. Bye bye.